Okay, so we are at the final part of the class, my most favorite section, editing. I will show you my editing process in VSCO app. It is a good app with great tools and filters. Some filters you have to pay for, others are free. Let's start with this image. The easiest thing to do is obviously choose the filter and apply it. The filter would add needed contrast or saturation or tint depending on the filter, and picture will be transformed instantly, like in this case. I really love how C1 filter works in this picture. Here is the before and after. One thing I might want to do here is to go to manual settings. Just press this small arrow and then go here. And I will use a sharpen tool, this triangle right here. Typically I use 1 or 2. I never go overboard because it just looks unnatural. I will leave it like this. However, sometimes filters do not work very well, especially in pictures with contrast, like this picture. Let's see. Filters would apply additional contrast, and as a result, light parts may become too bright and dark parts can become almost black, like here. If I apply the F2 filter. I love F2 filter, but for this picture it probably is not working really well because the background is too dark. Here is the original image and this is the edit. So 3 things you can do. Either use filter partially. You just press on the filter and you can scale it down like this. Personally, I don't really like this option. So another thing that you can do is choose another filter, the one with less contrast. Maybe something like this. Here the background is still dark, but you can see much more details in the background. This is the before and after. Or you can go uncheck all filters, just pressing on the first one, and edit the picture fully in manual settings, which I do quite a lot. For this picture, I would probably increase the temperature because I want to show that it was a warm, beautiful spring morning. I will also increase the contrast just a bit and maybe add a bit of saturation like this. Finally, I will use the sharpen tool, the triangle, because I always use it. And we're done. So here is before and after. Here is another example of an edit in the manual mode, the backlight image from the class. First thing I will try here is to up the contrast, maybe a bit more. Okay. Once again, I love my backlight images to be warm. I would probably increase the temperature as well, maybe to 3. Okay, this will give me a nice golden glow. As you can see, I don't really have a formula and my editing is all about trying settings that I think would fit and deciding on a best balance between them. So next, I will probably increase a saturation, maybe to 3. Yeah, this looks okay. And I will add some red tint. For a tint, if you go to the right, you will get the red tint. If you go to the left, you will get the green tint. I usually prefer red one. Yeah, like this. And as usual, I sharpen the image just a little bit. So this is the before and this is after. Here is an edit of a still life. So I go to manual mode as well. To me, this picture right now looks a bit too dark. First thing I do here is increase exposure. Now the image lacks contrast. I'm gonna fix it by adding some contrast. Okay, I will use the sharpen tool as usual. And now I think that my picture is a bit too warm, so I will reduce the temperature. So this is the before and after. As you can see, my process is almost always the same. First of all, I brighten the image, adjust the temperature if needed. Most likely I will increase contrast, but just a bit. I may add some saturation if the contrast tool did not give enough boost. And finally, I will use the sharpen tool to give image more professional look. Before, after.